Hi guys, welcome back. So I am here with another reading after such a long time. How are you guys doing? I'm so grateful that you guys are still here. I know I have not said much since the last time I posted something. But yes, as I had planned, I'm doing my things, mostly sending out my weekly newsletters, as I had told you guys, with the weekly astrological insights and some tarot readings. I've also added a pick a card section recently, so if you have not subscribed to that, you can always do so. The link is in the description box. Pinterest has, well, not really posting much very regularly. Yeah, turns out social media is not really my thing, but in between there I was trying to work with someone else to make regular content, but yeah, it was again like too much. There would be a lot of stuff to teach, and they were not very well versed in astrology, and so yeah, it was for multiple reasons. It just did not work out, unfortunately, not yet at least, but hopefully at some point down the line I can find someone else to work with. But the first step was, of course, to admit to myself that I'm just not like that, or it's just not my thing, right? Which I was trying to force myself to make it my thing. But that was a big help to admit it, right? Apart from that, I'm still doing my, Etsy readings. You can reach out to me from that shop, but I would always encourage that you contact me through my email directly or through my website. You also get a little bit extra if you sign up to my newsletter or check out my website, because there is this one special feature that Etsy does not have, which is consultation. So I can set up a meeting with you. We can have a one-to-one connection. I can describe to you what's going on in your chart. Whatever questions you have, we can get those clarified. And even as I'm explaining things, you can ask me your questions if something is unclear. And so you don't have to wait for feedback. You don't have to read the whole report and then have your thoughts, note them down. Of course, you can do that if that's what you prefer. I have my astrology reports as well available on both Etsy and my website. But in case you want like a more personal touch and a combination of tarot and astrology, that is a good feature, which, yes, I've not put on Etsy. And of course, newsletter gives you extra discounts, which again is not there on Etsy. So I would encourage that you reach out to me through that, but it's your call, whatever you feel most comfortable. So how are you guys? What's going on with you? Tell me your news. Let's catch up a little bit. And with this video, with the 2025 reading, I don't know, I just felt called to it. I was like, I really feel like making a video for YouTube, and this is just the perfect time. People are like wondering what's coming next, and so yeah, I had to do it, So let's get started. Hi there, everyone. So let's get into your 2025 reading. You can pick your card over here. If you're not sure how to pick your pile intuitively, there will be a video in the ribbon above that walks you through it. But we have pile number 1 here, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Make sure to choose it, take your time, take a deep breath, and decide. Once you're ready, we will get started. Hi there, pile 1. Welcome to your 2025 reading. So let's get into it and see your major things that are happening. Let's see what's coming through. We have the chain of events that will affect your life. We have the candle, which says you will be shown the way. And we have camel, which is persevere and you will overcome problems. So we have 3 C's coming up. So perhaps C is an important letter for you. Perhaps it's an initial of your first, middle, or last name, or it can be someone significant coming into your life who is going to have that as an initial. But yes, it seems like, there will be some seemingly small things that happen that you might not think too much about, but they're going to lead you somewhere. And they're also going to take you out of some current struggle, is what I'm feeling. It's going to be as simple as, this bagel shop that you usually go to has now closed down, so you have to go to some other place, and it so happens that the new place you go to, you see that there is a job opening, or that you meet someone who can be a nice friend to you, good support system, or even like bump into someone you can really connect with on a romantic level. Again, it depends on what exactly you're looking for, right? But it's going to be like one step after the other, that as you follow along, it's just going to lead to a certain outcome, basically. Okay, let's get some tarot cards right away. How is 2025 for pile number ones, please? One after the other. This is the Sadhana Tarot, by the way. I got it just recently. They had a Kickstarter campaign. Not sure if they still have funding going on, but yeah, it got completed, so it's here now. But you can, of course, still support them if you like the visuals. Or order one for yourself. It's really bright and colorful, you'll see. Okay, so, yep. And also, this is not sponsored by them. I just like it, so I thought I'd tell you. Pile number one, please, 2025. Okay, well, we have the Temperance, we have the Tower. See, like, this is like bringing peace and resolution after like a shocking time or a destabilizing moment, so you can kind of rebuild, or at least have a better understanding of why something had to happen the way that it did. We have Eight of Wands, which also points to clarity, movement, travel. So you might have these themes also coming up. I don't know if you regularly travel or not, but there might be some trips you're planning here. You might have quite a few social interactions going on as well. All in all, it seems like a dynamic year for you. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have Strength. So yeah, the Strength is like in the perseverance quality. If you persevere, you are going to make it through. Also, it's a creative year for you. Nine of Pentacles is like, it is whatever can make you feel self-fulfilled and independent is what you are going to attract, right? So if it is job security that's going to do that, then that's what you're attracting. If it's having a partner, then that's what you're attracting, right? It's a very like it's on you kind of energy. It does not directly say, oh, you're going to meet the love of your life or something. So it's not like extremely exaggerated like that. It's just like whatever you need, you're going to have the resources, the people, the timing, whatever, right? It also means that you have a healthy sense of self-respect, and your boundaries are healthy as well. You're listening to your own voice, and you're kind of following your sense of resolution too. So if you want to do something, you will have the strength and the willpower to go get it done. So yeah, it seems like the year itself is going to be fast. And so there might be like a lot of things that are happening. I don't think it's at the same time, but it's like one after the other. Okay, so maintaining your health, having your space, knowing how to, rejuvenate yourself after an exhausting day, those are going to come in a lot of, handiness. The Temperance energy also is like meditate, calm down, or, how do you relax? How do you wind yourself down? Is going to just really help you out and makes things seem more manageable. Because the Tower energy can sometimes look like, well, it can feel like a catastrophe, even though it is not actually objectively a catastrophe, right? So the Temperance in that way can give you more perspective and show you, okay, this is where I need to move. This is the guidance I'm getting. This is the direction I feel like my intuition is calling me, and so on. So it gives you a broader perspective. Temperance is also about compromise, but not in the way that you're sacrificing yourself. These two are different things, and people often, mix them up. Like, why should I compromise? I have to listen to myself. But both can go hand in hand. It's just about balancing how much you can care for other people without needing to compromise, without needing to sacrifice your needs, right? So you're compromising a way out of something. It also means that you are looking at some other perspective, and you can meld that into your own. So when you meet someone very different from you, for example, instead of being like, oh, you're different, I hate that, being like, oh, you're different, what makes you different? Having an open mind or curiosity can be nice. And yes, sometimes you might be like, I think you're like this, and then they might prove you right. But then there might be other times where you're like, okay, well, even if we don't agree on so many different things, it's nice that you have this kind of confidence about you, or at least you are well read, or you are well skilled, something or the other you can kind of gather from someone else. And it doesn't again mean that you have to forget yourself and become like them, or that they have to bend to your wishes. It can be that you incorporate some of the good things you notice in someone else within the good things you see within yourself, right? Or whatever your perspective is in that regard, like what is good, what is not so good for you. That's what I'm getting there. So in that way, you kind of compromise, but by doing so, both people, both sides of things can become healthier and more balanced, is what I'm feeling. And now with the Tower, it breaks down only when the foundation is not solid. So if something is breaking down, kind of losing energy, kind of taking a lot from you, it's just signifying that, okay, this is not constructive anymore. It's not helping me out. It does not seem to have a solid base. And at that moment, it may not be immediately clear what about it is not solid. But again, you don't have to be super critically analytical in that very moment because you don't yet have the perspective. So allow things to unfold as it does. Also, with death or Tower, any kind of like radical changes that do happen in our lives, it only hurts, and the hurt persists when we get hung up on it. If we allow it to flow, like I said with the Temperance, it's a healing energy. You have to flow with it. So as you are flowing, you deal with what you are facing with much more ease, and the pain and resentment, none of those things kind of stick around. Honor your feelings, of course, but again, don't hold on to it as best that you can. But I really love that we have the Eight of Wands. It's like speedy movement, away from distractions and all that. It's just very exciting kind of card. It also indicates you might be getting some positive messages and things that you've been wanting kind of coming much faster than you were anticipating. So there is like an unexpected travel that could happen, unexpected texts or emails or offers as well that can come towards you that make you feel very, secure, but also excited. Now, the Nine of Pentacles also indicates you might be getting a raise, or your business is doing well, you are flourishing in life, whether it is, again, financially directly or just how independent and successful you feel within yourself, right? Yes, so you're finding ways to just do things by yourself, for yourself, and you're just feeling very fulfilled as a result of it. Okay, let's get some oracle cards. We have your past supports your future with card number 11. It's kind of karma plus Six of Cups energy coming in. So yeah, it's like the things you've learned in the past are definitely going to help you out, or the connections you have built before, they are going to be carrying forward and developing as well. Again, if they are not constructive to you and you're in a toxic relationship of any kind, be it like a company or, in like an employer, or even romantic situation, even a business partnership, friendship, whatever kind it is, there might be either dismantling of the relationship entirely or that toxic aspect of it, right? Then we have Creator Earth as well, which is about stability. So you're looking to how do you build more stability, you're prioritizing that, you're feeling more grounded throughout the year as well, you're building on your wealth, your health, you're feeling much more secure and again self-governed. Yeah. And also with your past supports your future, it's like the work you've done in the past but you've not been rewarded for, you might be seeing like the karmic rewards of it. The Eight of Wands can feel like that. You've already put your efforts in a specific situation or person, but it was not appreciated at the time, and you might have felt like, okay, I don't believe in karma anymore, like where is my justice, I've done so much here, I've given so much there, what is there in it for me, like why should I keep doing this to myself? So while it comes from a place of hurt and completely understandable in those scenarios, I think you're just detaching yourself from that. You're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to bother doing that. I'm just going to mind my own business and, yeah, do what is best for me. But when you do that, even though you feel like, oh, I'm doing this, rebellious thing and I don't care about anyone anymore, that's like simply not true, because there are still close people you really care about. There are friends who are supporting you and all that. But because you detach yourself from the need to get a certain outcome from a situation, person, place, the outcome is now coming in, So you are then able to kind of build up on what's coming through, and it may not come from the same source as what you have been working towards. So let's say in your current workplace you've been giving it your all, you've been working more than 40 hours a week, and you're just like, why am I overexerting myself? I'm just not going to bother because there's no appreciation for that, right? So you detach yourself, and then you get like a different place, like it might be a different type of job, even leaving your industry, joining a different one, or it's like a different team that you're joining that's giving you the appreciation that you well deserve, right? So it comes from a different source, but the opening is kind of there for you. Now I'm thinking that the chain of events has already begun. It's not something that is starting in 2025, but something that you've already started this year, and it's going to have these ripple effects moving forward into the next year. So the candle again is that opening. It's the light, like, oh, here I should go there. There is a pull, there's an attraction towards someone or something, and it just leads you to something more. This tower also is a very interesting depiction. Usually we see the tower being broken down, but this one is still standing up. There's only this color aspect of it that is kind of flowing downwards. So that's why I feel like it's not going to be a complete, dismantling of something, but rather aspects of life or some conditioning that you might have had or beliefs you might have held, which were, again, not helping you out. Those things are being washed away from you, kind of flown away out of you. It's just, it feels like, oh, this does not seem correct. Let's say you have this idea that, oh, all men are like this or all women are like that, and now this year it's going to be that you meet certain people who are so kind that you're like, I don't even care if we have something romantic or not, I just love that you're in my life. And that opens you up to what kind of people there are in the world, and therefore you attract more of those kinds of people, right? So there is a dismantling of certain ideas and a part of you, but it's also building you up so much more, right? That's the idea. All right, so let's get some astro dice. We have Saturn, 10th house, and Cancer. 10th house talks about your career, reputation. Cancer is when you're emotionally invested in something, you care about something, you're protective of it. And Saturn is about walls, boundaries, limitations, right? So again, you might have felt like underappreciated in either your career or like in how you are seen in the world. Like you have a lot of wisdom to give, or you have plenty of experience and skill to share, but it might have felt like no one wants to hear from you, or no one wants to follow up with it. Like they might ask for advice, but then they don't take it, right? So, or like you might have looked more reserved, more introverted or something. But this year, it seems like it's not too much of anything. You have boundaries, yes, but you also know why you have those boundaries. You're also careful about where you are investing your energy, your emotions. And that's why, even if you're not getting like a flood of friends or network or whatever, you're going to get just the right people. Sometimes I really love Saturn for that, even though it gets such a bad rep. I don't know why. It's like, oh my god, Saturn is here, life is going to be dull and blah and boring. And sure, okay, depends on your perspective, but it's also such a blessing because it removes all the clutter from your life. Okay, while Jupiter is going to bring you like 10-20 friends at once, Saturn is going to bring you one, but you can really trust that one. And also, you are not distracted in how you're spending your energy. With Jupiter, sometimes we're like, oh, I like everything, I want everything, and then we have the tendency to overdo in those situations. We just feel really like expansive and lucky. That's also great, of course, but Saturn has a purpose of its own too. So in this case, with a Cancerian energy, I think it just meshes really well, because you might get like one job offer, but it's just the right one, or you have this one path that opens up, not 3 or 4, and that's perfect for you because you don't want to sit there deciding on the pros and cons list of each path ahead. I don't see like indecision at any point in the coming year. You know what you want, the path is available to you, you're moving in that direction, you're taking guidance from others, you're listening to your own voice, and that's, I think, a very effective way to go through anything, really. That's why I was also getting that the Tower is not like, oh no, catastrophe, everything is breaking down. I didn't really feel that, right? Very nice, quite stabilizing year. And also for Saturn in the 10th house, success comes slow or at a delayed pace, but it definitely comes, and it comes more than you expect. Okay, so you will have to be deliberate and you persevere, like it says like twice with the Strength and the Camel. You'll have to persevere, but you are going to make it, and you will again be well reputed for it, because Saturn, again, it'll test you and it'll give you small little challenges, and it seems kind of ruthless when you're in the process, but it's such a good trainer for us. Like when you pass Saturn, you can pass anything, and you are seen as someone very strong, experienced, and reputable. Like no one can deny your presence anymore, right? So that's the kind of success you can build. Like the reputation also stays for just as long of a time, right? Or even more, actually. So the 9 of Pentacles is giving me that energy that you know what you've worked for, you know what you're doing, and you've made the success yourself, right? Like again, it doesn't matter what context of life we're talking about. It's just your attitude, and everything that you're touching is kind of being that way. And look at where your highest focus is. That's where you're going to experience most of this expansion I'm talking about, but it's still there in your attitude. So you're not going to entertain waste kind of people who again are dysfunctional or detrimental to your growth or don't really fit into your life. You're not being a people pleaser, you're not trying to forcefully accommodate others just because, right? And so that makes you just so sincere and grounded in whatever you're doing, so it attracts the right kind of people as well through all walks of life. And also Cancer, another C. So I think there is like a C that's coming through really loud and clear. Just practice self-care. Take your time for yourself. You absolutely deserve it. Yes. So that's what I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope this was insightful, helps you out for the year ahead, also encourages you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and leave a like and subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your 2025 reading. So let's look at the major things that are happening for you this coming year. And then we'll also look at the tarot cards as we do an oracle plus astro dice. So you have diamond coming up first. You will be receiving or giving a precious gift. You have bear, danger, especially in money matters. You have egg, which is success assured with good plans and hard work. So, alright, so well, I'm looking at the diamond and the bear. If you are giving someone jewelry, if you're proposing someone, then of course it might be like a big expense, so it would be wise to like save up on it. But apart from that as well, perhaps you're buying something that is quite big, hefty, or yeah, with the egg you might be getting like an extra opportunity for like an extra cushy job, or some side finances that give you a heightened sense of security. And sometimes when that happens, you feel like ordering in more. You want to also kind of upgrade the ingredients you're buying, and these are like small things, but if you add it up and it kind of becomes more than you're actually getting, or the savings are kind of dropping, then that's something to watch out for. So like budgeting would be a good idea, and if you're not already doing that, then it definitely can help you in planning your finances so you continue to feel that secure, right? But egg is also a symbol for opportunity, so you might be getting like potentials and possible like openings that help you kind of upgrade in life, not only financially but also like just improve your health and wealth and just everyday living, everything, kind of upgrading. And even diamond, like if you're in a romantic relationship, then or you're looking for someone who is more for the long haul, you might have some nice opportunities lining up for you, which kind of get you that, right? So let's take a look at the tarot for pile number 2, please. 2025. Okay, let's get 2 more cards. This is the Sadhana Tarot, by the way. I recently bought it from Kickstarter. I'm so glad they got funded, and I'm able to get this really beautiful looking deck. If you want, you can also support them. This is not sponsored by them, just letting you know. I really like the artwork, so okay. So we have the 3 of Cups coming through. Then we got the 4 of Pentacles, which is about that investments, saving, being careful of your possessions. 3 of Wands. We have Temperance. And we have the King of Swords. So 3 of Cups, 3 of Wands is like friendships, communication, positive messages, and support being around you. You might meet someone through your friends as well, start like this spark. This 3 of Wands, it just looks like so exciting, right? Like you want to go have a conversation, you're looking forward to meeting them, and you're looking forward to just the next steps, right? Generally, 3 of Wands is kind of depicted as something very hopeful and optimistic, but kind of relatively zen in the artwork. But in this one, it's like, ooh, I'm so excited. So I really like it. Now, the 4 of Pentacles is, pointing to, yes, there will be developments, you will have support, you're going to get some guidance as well to, like, follow this path or talk to a certain person, but also be mindful of your belongings, your possessions, everything, right? So that, you feel secure, first and foremost, and you are also stabilized in whatever changes are coming through. Temperance energy is healing and calming. It's also appreciating the middle path. It's not one way or the other necessarily. There is kind of a compromising element there, finding peace within opposition, not hating one polarity or the other, but just appreciating what the other person brings to the table. And the compromise does not mean that you are sacrificing yourself. It is quite different. We sometimes mess that up. Many people do that. But that's yeah, it's quite different. Compromise is when you're not losing yourself in the process, but you can still be mindful of others. But sacrificing is, yeah, when you just not listen to yourself for the sake of someone else. Um, so there might be, again, times where you are trying to figure out what is that balance point for you. What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for others? How much are you spending on others as well? Even though the bear is like, especially in money matters, and the Four of Pentacles generally relates to material possessions, it is also looking at preserve your energies, preserve what is valuable to you. That's what that means. And because like money is one of the foundational things that we usually need on a day-to-day basis, that's why it's kind of highlighting those aspects, but it does not always have to be the case. So if you're expending a lot of your time on something, that is also valuable, right? And or someone, right? You're spending a lot of your time, your emotions on someone or something, but it is not bringing you any rewards, right? So be mindful how much you give to a person, place, thing, situation. Yeah, so in that way, temperance is kind of find that sweet spot. It doesn't have to be that you completely stop something, but it doesn't have to be the other extreme either, right? Yeah, and the King of Swords is, I love that in pairing with the Temperance especially, because it gives you the vision and wisdom to make decisions and to think critically. It's about looking at the bigger picture and evaluating where you stand and being realistic about it with yourself. So I love that you're not lying to yourself, or other people are not able to lie to you either, because again, you're like, yeah, so this is how much I'm going to save, and that's that. So I'm not going to sneak it past myself and self-sabotage. I'm also not going to listen to someone else's pandering that you should buy it, it's really great, it's an investment or whatever, right? So you're not falling for scams, you're listening to your own logic, and you're trying to make sense of things that are around you. So even when you're investing your finances, you're not being like reckless about it, you're thinking about stuff. The King of Swords also points to someone else who is experienced in this regard. Let's say you're starting out in terms of investments, right? And you don't really know where to invest or what would be a good idea. Again, like various things, right? Even in relationships, you might have someone in your life who can help you out, like, hey, that person is not really good for you, they are definitely draining your energy, and maybe your emotions are better spent elsewhere. Or it can even be like a financial advisor who is giving you some idea of, if you do this, you're going to get these kinds of returns, if you do that, then this happens, right? So you can kind of learn quite a bit from other people who are more experienced than you. And it also depends like what you are most focused on at this point in your life, that this trajectory is kind of playing out. Also, again, like when you're purchasing, let's say, a house, right? That's a big one. If you're purchasing a house, you might need to pay some amount already, or there might be different loan options, and you might have to like figure out, okay, what is the best idea. But I love that we have the Three of Cups and Three of Wands as well to support your search of finding this person, right? So your friends might recommend you an advisor, and they're really cool, they're really nice, and make things kind of easy for you to digest. They also might give you a little bit of a discount, right? So that really helps. Or you might even get it for free because your friends just went through the whole process, so they're going to help you out through it as well. Now, the King of Swords, in case that is not another person and it is applying to you, it is saying that you are stepping up to an advisory role if you have the experience already for it, and you are in that teacher position. So you're giving guidance to others, you're consulting, you might have your own business as well, perhaps you're a thought leader, innovator, blogger, writer, something related to communication, your words and text, that is creating an influence as well. If you are doing that, then you are likely to get more followers or fans, admirers, people who gain quite a bit of benefit from what you are doing. Now, if you're making this decision that, okay, I can't keep having a full-time job and also doing my business, I need to pick one or the other, then again, the money thing makes sense. Like, you might have to save up a little bit, or you might have to come up with a different type of solution, like finding a part-time job or turning your current contract into a part-time one instead of a fixed full term. That way you have more flexibility for how much you can really devote yourself to your own business and to help other people out. But networking, connecting with people, these things are like some major themes that are happening in your coming year, and your inputs are quite valuable. Even if you're someone who's taking advice from someone else, your friends are still, there to support you, listen to you, and what you have to say is also meaningful to them, right? If you're stepping up, again, like if you're in that position already where you've done your learning process and now you're ready to teach, then there can be some avenues that you find which are again going to lead to more networking in that area and even expand onto more opportunities. Yes. In terms of the diamond that I'm looking at, it's like giving or receiving a gift. I feel like you might be, I think it might be both, okay? It's pointing to, the gift is an opportunity, I think, okay? For the most part, if you are like in a committed relationship and like a proposal is coming, then sure, that is also possible. But of course, like let's cover all bases, right? So the diamond there, you're getting opportunities which are quite tempting, and it's also exciting. It's rare, and it might be the arrangement that you create of having the combination of things that you have in your life, like having that ideal part-time job which is not overbearing, it's not taking so much of your time and energy, plus doing your own business. I'm just going with that example, right? It doesn't have to be exactly the case. But yeah, you have your own business as well, in which you're gaining followers and admirers, people gaining things from you. You're learning, you're reading, you're figuring yourself out as well. And yeah, other people who are joining your life are also contributing something to you, your friends, all that. So it seems like the combination of all the things that are happening in your life in 2025 is just so rare. And you can see that even though to you it might feel like normal, yeah, of course, yeah, I have close friends, yeah, it's nice, and I hang out with them sometimes, yes, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, it might just be like happenstance of like, yeah, there's just a daily thing that I'm doing, but when you look at other people around you, you can really recognize how rare your position is, that you are doing what you want, but you are not being drained or at a disadvantage, right? Meanwhile, some people around you, perhaps, I don't feel like they're close people, but like acquaintances, distant family relatives, they might be like, what, how are you doing that? I'm not able to do it, it's so difficult, how are you managing that, etc., etc. So that's when you might be again in a position to give advice, like, oh, I just did this and that, you can also do it, it's not such a big deal. But it is a big deal to them. And them expressing it kind of makes you feel more grateful that you have all these various things in your life that are making it beautiful. The Three of Wands also points to new experiences that you have not gathered so far. So it's just like opening the door, and there's this opportunity that happening there, and it feels like you're grabbing with both hands. You would love to have it all, but again, you're going at it in a deliberate pace. Like, you're not going to join 3 jobs at once, for example, right? You're going to do something first, you have to establish yourself, and then you're trying something else, adding that on, trying to balance the 2 jobs or job and business, and if you're having your social life as well, your friendship circle, romantic circle, and you're trying to like balance all of those things in your life too. And it might just be that this year you're kind of just figuring out how do you balance all of these things, including your finances, your time, emotions, energy, effort, everything. And so again, when you're in that motion, you feel like, yeah, it's kind of regular, right? Everybody is doing that. Maybe your close friends, yes, perhaps you're all along the same, spiritual path, or like at this same spiritual stage at this time, so you're kind of learning similar lessons. But when you look outside of your immediate circle, you will definitely see that there is so much more that you have and you're doing at the same time. Okay, let's get some oracle cards here. We have overrate your intuition. Yeah, this is again pointing to trusting yourself. Look through your own eyes. Know what you are seeing. And I think it's like a collective lesson that we are also gathering in the coming year, to respect our own observations. So the King of Swords, even though it's like a very logical person or archetype, it also it is in the same head sphere that we're talking about, that the intuition also lies, right? So you pay attention to the logical side of things, you make rational decisions, but also when two or more things make just as much sense, that's when the intuition can really help you out. Also, the Three of Wands can sometimes indicate like communication coming from within you. So there is a spark, there is like a significant pull that you feel like, this is the door I want to open, this is the opportunity that is meant for me. So follow those nudges. We have Nourish the Sacred Feminine, again pointing to connections and self-care, going with the flow, listening to your intuition, all these things. This is a very healing year for you, so anything that has been extreme in the past, you're really seeking to balance things out, and that's going to help you for the long run. There might be more feminine people in your life too, so your mother might be significant. If you have sisters, then them, your aunts and cousins, even like female friends, they are going to be quite significant in your life as well, giving you some useful emotional advice or how to follow your intuition perhaps. And if you resonate with being more feminine, you can be someone who is like nourishing that part of you, not denying it, not trying to be like overly masculine or trying to, fit into that kind of archetype that we have in the world. You're more like, I'm going to go with the flow. I will honor my creative side of things. I will, right now I feel like resting, so I'm going to do that, and then when I wake up I will feel more productive, right? So you're not rushing through or being reckless about anything, you're respecting your wishes and you're kind of going with it, right? So the danger, I would not say it's a danger, it's just I think like a caution, like make sure that you're budgeting or paying attention to your finances. And but I feel like there might be either a big investment you're doing or some expenditures coming up. I don't think you're shocked about it. It's just something you can plan for as well. Or you might be sensing that it's coming up. Like, I think next year I'm going to do something like this, Your manifestation powers are also high. The Three of Wands talks about manifestations coming true into your life. So again, if you're wishing for a family home or something, then that might be coming in, but then once it is here, you have to kind of spend on it, right? Okay, what else can we know? We have Venus, 8th house, and Pisces. So Venus in Pisces is definitely like manifesting a nice love life and also finances. 8th house is about shared resources, investments, assets, and shared priorities as well. So you might be joining finances with a partner you have, or you're manifesting someone that you have kind of envisioned yourself to end up with, and you're meeting this person, getting intimate with them, really learning about them. And there is like a spiritual connection you're sharing too. Now, Venus in Pisces is super intuitive as well. It kind of is a little bit self-pampering, and it's with Pisces, they don't really like boundaries. They're not a sign of boundaries. So it can be that you kind of go a little bit too far and you're like, I love everybody so much that I'm going to buy anything and everything for them. Especially if you come into this like a lucrative job, or you have like some extra cushy cash kind of coming up in your life, then you might be like, oh, I have the money, I can totally buy that, right? So there might be this extra optimism that comes with Venus in Pisces. So something to watch out for, but I don't think it's like lethal or something like that. It's not dangerous, just something to look to. Venus in 8th house, I like that because it's kind of a transformative love situation or transformative financial situation. Things that have been blocked or bothering, that can be transformed. There is healing in terms of a psychological sphere as well. So things that you've been either avoiding or escaping, or it has been escaping your life and thoughts, and there is like tendencies of, you know, self-sabotage or lack of self-love or whatever. Those things are kind of healing here because we have that Pisces energy. You're dissolving those, you know, traumas or problems that you perceive in your life, and therefore you're freeing yourself up a lot more. You're more creative and intuitive as well. So listen to those inner nudges. They're going to really guide you and also bring more fulfillment in your life. All right. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading helps you out, gives you insights. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me your thoughts. I will see you guys some other time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your 2025 reading. Let's get into it and see what the major things are coming up for you in the next year. So we have casket coming out first, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. We have handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important, and we have the star with guaranteed success. So someone leaving, someone new coming in, and there is a wish fulfillment or success. Star is also giving me the energy that you're going to be more visible. Your reputation is going to be cleaner, clearer, more obvious to others. So be it in a career setting or in terms of being visible to possible suitors, that's both possible here, right? So again, depends on what your priority in life is right now. That's the energy we're picking up. But yes, it seems like something that possibly has run its course is coming to an end, and you can then start a new chapter entirely. And I'm looking at the background images of the handshake. There's like a moon, there's clouds, there's the earth, and I don't know, some other planets in the background of the earth as well. So it seems like a very like fated meeting. This was bound to happen. This was written in the stars, metaphorically speaking. And yeah, this was just the right timing for you to come across. And 2025 is like the next installment of the lessons that we already started in 2020. So there is like a next phase or a next chapter, a blessing for what you've done already, the next resource that's going to take you even further into your evolution. All these things are going to be quite primary in our collective as well. So curious what else comes up in your tarot. Let's get to it. Part number 3, please, for the year of 2025. What's coming in for them? What is the year all about? The Temperance card has come up for all the decks, all the piles so far. It's so interesting. By the way, this is the Southern Tarot. I funded them on Kickstarter. They were successful, and now I have this very beautiful, colorful deck. Not sponsored by them, but yeah, you can still show your support if you like their work. It's quite vivid and nice. You'll see. So we have the Two of Cups coming out. So this is like a soulmate union, or again a fated encounter, a meeting, going on dates. So there is like romantic possibilities here, but it's also like a partnership, right? So it doesn't always have to be romantic if that's not what you're looking for. It can be a friendship that you meet or find at just the right moment in your life, and it is quite significant. It is also like having the support and kind of feedback that is going to help you out as well through another person. But I like the universal kind of vibe coming through in this card. Like, this deck has a lot of that, but it kind of feels like two cups in space kind of feel, right? And one is more watery, the other one is more fire. So it feels like there is sort of an opposition, like you're meeting someone who's not exactly like you, and there is like a synergy. You can learn from one another, you can balance each other out, you can really there's a lot to gather from the connection here, right? And then we have the, what was coming through, hang on, we have the King of Wands, we have the Four of Swords, we have Temperance, and we have the Four of Cups. So it feels like you're moving away from something boring, dull, kind of stagnant, and into something that's more aligned and exciting for you. But you're still like calm and zen. With the Four of Swords, it's like you're getting the rest you need. You're spending some quiet time. There's reflection, contemplation, but you're also very clear as a result of it. So if you have some sleep to catch up on, you're lucky. This year is going to help you do that. It might also be that you're splitting your responsibilities with one other person because of your partnership. This can be like moving in with your partner, and therefore you're splitting your daily tasks, and so you're not as tired, or you don't have to do everything by yourself. So it gives you a little bit more time to rest and relax. But this is also pointing to like self-care too, like you're making it a point to end a certain cycle of giving, and now you're taking some time for yourself to rest, relax, all that. There is enough stability, security, and peace in your life that allows you to do all of these things in the first place. So that's awesome. So anything you feel unstable about, you can expect more stability here. Temperance is about healing and balancing as well. So two cards of healing are coming out here. Temperance is about moderation, finding the middle path, following that, and not falling into either or extremes. And when you meet opposition, so people who are different from you, you're not like, ooh, you're different, I hate that. Instead, you're like, okay, you're different. What makes you different? What can I gather from this? What can I learn? I know that that's not me for sure, but like, how do you do it, right? It can be meeting people who are coming from very different backgrounds, so their beliefs are different, and you can learn from that as well. You can learn gratitude for what you have, but you can also learn like, okay, this is something that I struggle with, but you don't seem to be struggling with that. How do you do it? How do you perceive the situation? What can I learn from you, right? So keeping an open mind is going to help you and the other person out in advancing in your life and balancing your energies and just life in general, right? Now, temperance also teaches compromise, but it's not sacrifice. It's easily mistaken, but compromise is when you can care about other people's needs, wants, and wishes without diminishing yourself or your worth, right? So you're not sacrificing on your 8 hours to go out of your way to solve someone else's problems. But if you are going on a walk anyway, if you're awake anyway, might as well help someone else too. That would be like compromising your just a nothing time to help someone else out, whether they're like someone close or some random stranger, it doesn't matter. So you're kind of compromising, and it's like, no, I have to have this like this, and it has to be done this way. These types of things, when we say we're kind of being stubborn, and when we are being stubborn, that is an extreme behavior, right? And so is like, yeah, I don't care, whatever works, I don't have a way, etc. That is also another extreme. So we need to be like, okay, this is what I like, but I can also manage with this and this, right? So having a little bit of flexibility without losing the structure would be something that temperance kind of preaches. It doesn't have to be black or white. Embrace the gray area, embrace the middle path, and more of that tribe is also going to find you and join you along the way. So Two of Cups is giving me that energy that you're kind of following this path of peace, zen, you're avoiding drama, and like too much of anything, and as a result you're kind of finding someone who can help you along the way too. Again, this can be a romantic partner for sure. If you're looking for that, if you're already in one, you can see that your lives are kind of different, so you're learning different things. And again, you don't have to hate the differences, be open to it, love it, and see what you can gather from it, right? Keeping an open mind, an open heart is going to go a long way. Your intuition is also going to be sharper. Your gut instinct is as well quite loud this year. Now, the King of Wands, let's get to it. This can be you stepping into a powerful position. So that can be a career, higher position, or this can be you having your own business. Whatever form it takes, you are being more empowered and powerful. So you are calling the shots. You can decide, okay, this is what's going to be done. I'm going to hire people here. I'm going to let go of people here. And there is a certain amount of directness, and I wouldn't say ruthlessness because that sounds kind of mean, but there is, like, this is what it is, that kind of quality with the King of Wands. This is my passion, this has to be done. And if sometimes I'm not going to be able to get my 8 hours of sleep and instead I get like 7 hours, it's not a big deal. If I have to change my routine, then that's not a big deal. It's a good enough reason because I want their success. So they're so solid about their passions, their visions, that they can make anything happen. Same goes with, like, if you already have your business and you have a little bit too many employees and you don't have as much coming in, you might be like, well, this has to be done. I have to let go of some people. But you might still, like, help them out, like find something else, or, give a nice compensation for their time or for the short notice or whatever, but you're still doing what you have to do. Right. King of Wands can also represent your connection with someone, which is because, and I'm saying that because we have so many like connecting cards. You have a passionate connection with them. There is like a dynamic quality, so you're interested to know one another. You're growing together. There's both of you are autonomous and independent, but you also respect one another very much. And whenever you're together, there's just a lot of fun and thrill. You can go on different types of experiences, and both of you can be quite open to it while still having your likes and dislikes. King of Wands, third meaning, can be someone else in your life who is in that powerful position. So if you're not yet experienced enough to be starting your own business, or you're not feeling ready yet, or that you are just starting out and you're kind of relying on your boss or employer, then the King of Wands is representing that, who is kind of a guide figure. You can see that they're quite passionate, they're very fast moving. So if you're someone who's like, I'm gonna take my time, they are not going to enjoy that very much. They're like, no, we have to be productive. You're at work, you're going to get to work. I want to see that you are into this. I want to see that you're passionate about this. That kind of personality here. But it's not like they're just demanding you and they don't do anything themselves. King of Wands is like, they want to be the best, okay? So you can look to them and ask them for advice, and they would be happily guiding you. They will also inspire you and encourage you. So if they see someone kind of slacking but still having a lot of potential, they're definitely going to be, helping them out the best way they can. Not very emotional or psychological. So if there's some like personal stuff that you're dealing with, I would not count on this person to, hold your hand and kind of pat you on the back and support you like that. But they're definitely going to be like, yeah, well, whatever it is, I'm sure you can do it. So deal with it and let's get on it, right? So they will kind of rile you up and just make you feel fired up even when you're feeling kind of low energy. So that's kind of contagious. King of Wands is also humorous. So in partnerships or through an employer, you embodying this energy as well can make you feel quite liked in your company. So yeah, whoever you're connecting with, they're appreciating this side of you. highly creative. You can be creative, your boss is creative, whoever this King of Wands is kind of representing, depending on your stage of life, is quite creative and inspiring. Now the Four of Cups can feel like a meh card, kind of mundane, kind of this is something I'm used to. So I don't see that the changes that are happening are completely out of the blue. There is still a level of stability to it. It's not like wipe away everything that has happened before 2025, and it's more of a continuation of what has been going on. I don't see that as a boring thing necessarily, because there is enough dynamism going on here. And perhaps you're even seeking that, okay, let's just, do what we have already started. Let's just kind of try to find that nice balance and, prioritize some other parts of my life to kind of, grow in a wholesome way, right? So the Four of Cups can be pointing to kind of just coming to a stable point, not having erratic emotions or big changes of location or relationships and all that. So in that way, kind of stably moving forward. Guaranteed success, that is also kind of adding up with the King of Wands interpretation, where you are the one who's being more successful. Perhaps you are hiring people for the first time, and that gives you a little bit more peace and rest. But yeah, either way, like even if you're looking for your first job, it might be that you find a nice employer, kind of a secure working space, so you can kind of rest at ease. People leaving, people coming, that is still there. So yeah, it might just be that you're, or like end of a situation, like you were single for some time and now that's ending and you're kind of attracting this other partner. King of Wands can, by the way, represent this other person you're attracting as well. Because I was saying that one is more fiery, one is more watery. If you resonate as being the water sign, or someone who is more like feminine, going with the flow, kind of having faith, manifesting, all these are your natural talents, then you might be attracting someone who's more like, no, you make your luck happen and you go for it, and someone who's more fired up like that, more passionate, social, all that, right? How you guys meet, I don't know, but a meeting with a stranger, it says in this card, so you don't yet know this person. You happen to meet them perhaps in a similar setting. It's someplace you already go, or something you're normally going to move towards. Let's say you finished your studies and you're going to start your first job. That's something you're doing, and then you happen to meet this person, right? So it's quite like organic the way that you meet, but it's still like a new person in your life. All right, let's see some oracle cards for pile number 3, please. 2025. We have Celebrate Your Wins, another card of success and recognition. This corresponds with the Six of Wands energy as well, which is about being seen, being validated by others. But you can see that there is kind of this outer shining layer. So you are shining, you are visible, and you are being validated, but you're not reliant on it. You're not needing other people's yes to go ahead. You're listening to yourself, right? What else? One more card, please. Yes. We have Fierce Serenity, which points to Leo energy or the strength energy, and it's about balancing action with peace, or like action and rest. So you're not doing too much productivity that you are burning yourself out, but you're not resting so much that you become stagnant and feel lazy, right? So you're just doing things as and when you're supposed to be doing them, and with each steady step, life is kind of moving on and going on, and you're getting the rewards for it as well. Now the strength energy can point to, well, yes, like knowing your boundaries, when to do what. And sometimes you learn that through experience. Other times you're taught those. But the identification of, okay, I always do this, I need to do something else instead, right? That is strength, because you're kind of going against the default state, and you are listening to that deeper wisdom that's like, don't do that, or like, don't go for this person. You always go for these kinds of people, and it never ends up well. You know it. Observe the signs, listen to those signs, and listen to that personal intuition, that inner voice, right? Also points to your gut instinct. You're listening to that. We do have the King of Wands, which is like Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy, and then we have that Leo energy again coming through. So perhaps you're finding a Leo, or embracing that energy. You're learning the Leo kind of energy of, this is what I want, this is what I embrace, my creativity is here, let me express it how I want, and as a result, again, you are being seen. Yes, okay. Some astro dice for pile number 3, please. 2025. We have Mars, 7th house, and Cancer. So 7th house coming up, it's quite likely that you're meeting people, and other people are going to be significant in your life in the coming year. So look at your relationships to understand your personal evolution. Also, it can be that other people are helping you through a phase in your life, or teaching you certain things directly, intentionally, or indirectly, unintentionally. Mars is a fiery planet, so again, we have that fire stuff coming through, as we saw here. But Mars and Cancer can be a little bit moody, but and their actions kind of depend on how they're feeling. So this can be like, if you're really spent, you might not feel like interacting with others. You just want to be by yourself, and that is kind of that introverted vibe. But then when you're taking care of yourself, you feel very up to it, and you can interact with so many people and make a lot of meaningful connections. Especially helps out if you have creative clients, or you do some sort of consultation, or you are like an empath, or someone who is frequently connecting with others on a more emotional level. This can point to more activity going on in that area. And when you do those kinds of jobs, then you definitely need to care for yourself, so you're not overdoing it, right? In terms of a partner, the Mars in Cancer can point to someone who's very protective of people that are close to them. So you might not meet their family just yet, or you're not like super in the inner circle right away. They will take their time to form a bond, but you will see that they're sensitive. They might have a tough shell, but they are sensitive, they're caring, and you'll see like small little gestures, acts of service, and you will see that, they definitely are someone genuine and worth the time, worth the wait. It's not going to be like too long, because again, Mars is not so slow, but it is still going to be like thought out, right? So this person is deliberate, and that makes it feel quite sincere. Yes, so that's what I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope it was insightful and interesting for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe as well. I will see you some other time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into it and see what are the major things coming up for you in the year of 2025. So the first card we have here is coins. Money will be coming to you. Then we have kite with vacation, and the third thing we have is mule, which is someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Okay, so financially it looks good, and you might have quite some time to rest, relax, go to some places that you've been wanting to go on vacation, retreats. So yeah, self-care, looking good, and you have the means and resources to make it happen. The mule, some person who is stubborn, can be pointing to you in some aspect of your life, or it can be pointing to someone in your life who is a bit stubborn and does not want to change. So yeah, let's get some tarot cards actually and see how all of that fits in. Like the mule, the stubbornness does not have to be like a negative thing, by the way. like, I mean, when you have a strong focus and you know what you want, some people might perceive that as stubbornness, meanwhile others would call it determined, focused, right? So it really depends on perspective and what the situation is. So yeah, I'm not, it's not necessarily that, you know, it's a bad thing that you have to be a certain way or the other. But let's see the tarot cards, see what's coming through for you for the year of 2025. Okay. So we have, by the way, I'm using the Sadhana Tarot. I got it just recently, funded their Kickstarter, and I was waiting for this deck to arrive. Really happy with it. So bright, colorful, and even the more like negative meaning cards are quite positive looking and kind of give me a good vibe as well. Like I don't sense heaviness and all that. So it's a nice one. If you want, you can also support them, of course. It's not sponsored by them, by the way, this video. But yeah, I just like it, so just giving them credit. Okay, so we have Five of Pentacles, the Lovers. We have Death. We have the Ten of Wands. See, like Ten of Wands, Five of Pentacles, they're supposed to be like technically heavy cards, but the imagery, the color, nothing is like too dark and dreary, as if you don't want those things, right? So that's what I meant. And we have the seven, card number 7 with the Chariot. So Chariot is quite clear. We saw that there might be vacation trips coming up with the Tea Leaf Oracle cards, so that is being reiterated. You might be going somewhere. Road trip is something I'm hearing, so if that's something you enjoy, you might be traveling with a friend, a partner, some significant other. There can be like the Lovers is kind of giving me that you are with someone or you will be with someone who is quite similar to you. Normally it signifies like complementary energy, but I don't know why that was my first instinct, that you are quite similar and sometimes you butt heads as a result of that. But also your passion is just as intense and you also understand each other just as deeply. The Ten of Wands in this deck especially does not give me, again, a heavy, burdensome type of energy, but it's like lots of fun kind of vibe, right? So the passions are high, and that means you're going to have a ton of fun, share lots of good times together, but it also means that when you're angry or frustrated with one another, both of you might be explosive, right? So that's what's coming through. It's also giving me the energy that you have so many things going on and all of them are so exciting that you want to be everywhere at the same time, right? So in that process, even if you're enjoying it, it might just feel like too much at a certain point, but you don't want to lose one or the other. You don't want to make that big choice, right? So that's the only point where I feel a certain type of heaviness, but it's not like, I don't want to do this, but I'm having to do this kind of vibe. So that's nice. Now the Five of Pentacles, it talks about poverty consciousness normally. But again, we have this coins coming to you, so it can be pointing to a previous poverty consciousness that is not there anymore. You're not feeling poor or unfulfilled, not independent, and so on. So you're making more independent, self-reliant choices. You are shifting your perspective and you're looking at things more positively. You're being grateful for where you are. Death also symbolizes transformation. So yeah, difficult situations are kind of moving out of your life. A cycle is coming to a close and you are beginning a completely new journey from this year onwards. Even like karmic relationship type of situations or karmic situations within soulmate relationships, those cycles are also coming to a close so that you can find more enjoyment and satisfaction in them, right? Of course, this does not mean that, come 1st of January, you're just going to be like, oh, everything is vanished and now I'm awake and a whole new person. It doesn't always happen, right? It's generally a slow and steady process. But yeah, this year is a point, a time of transformation, transition, moving onwards and upwards, experiencing different types of love and success even. And that's why I think you're also getting like a little bit of an epiphany in different points of the year, where it's like life is too short to be so afraid or to feel insecure. I'm just going to live every day fully. That does not mean you quit your job, you leave everything and then you go away. I don't see like a reckless energy, but you are still making sure that you're enjoying life more, that you're savoring the moment and appreciating the different small little things that are making your life wonderful. Because everyone has challenges, and there are, some times when challenges are a little bit heavier, other times you can cope with them more. And yeah, it's not really a comparison of that, but you can always make your life a little bit better, more beautiful, more worth living, and it also makes the times that are not as difficult even more wonderful. So this year seems like one of those times where you're able to learn from that contrast of when you did not have certain things or you weren't with someone wonderful. And so when you do get those things or the people around you, you are especially grateful for them, right? Yeah, so the conflicts that I can pick up on is like because you and your partner or a significant person in your life are quite similar, so then you're kind of butting heads. But yeah, I don't see that as being such a big thing. Maybe, I mean, it is probably big for you because you have to learn to navigate that. But at the same time, you're also very drawn to this person, so it's not like because you butt heads, you're going to break up or something. However, if you are in a toxic situation already, the Lovers and the Death can point to the ending of that relationship. If something is good, if something is constructive and meant for you, that is not going to leave your life, so don't be worried about that. The Mule can just be like you have been trying to make something work already, but it's not an equal partnership. It's just one of you trying and the other person is just slacking off, not listening to you. There is no respect there, no admiration or gratitude, and everything has just become too complacent, or there are toxic behaviors like gaslighting or something, manipulation, gaslighting, these things coming through with the death energy, kind of making you do all of the work, all the legwork in the relationship. In that situation, you might just gather the courage of I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm tired of feeling less than who I am, and I absolutely deserve more love in my life, and I give so much here that I know I'm worth it. I know I can get someone better, right? So you have this strong sense of self, and you allow a major chapter to close and you move on, and yeah, you just go towards a new adventure entirely. You might go on a vacation after this type of change, and this can even point to certain business partnerships that are again toxic, someone else like not doing a lot of work, just all big talk, no show, and you are doing all of the work and it's not working out for you. You might sell part of your company or something, and then the rest you're doing by yourself. However it plays out, whoever is the most significant connection in your life and whatever is resonating with you, that's where this dissolution might happen. Now, for constructive relationships, however, it does not mean you will break up, but that you will learn how to cope and transform the more difficult aspects of your connection into healthy ones. After this dissolution, if you're resonating with that storyline, it is likely that you are going to go on a trip to just clear your head, to gain more inspiration, just get away from the rut and the humdrum, and just open your eyes more. The Chariot and the Death together Death, by the way, represents Scorpio, the Chariot Cancer, the Lovers Gemini. So these three zodiac signs might be principal in your life somehow. Either you are that, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or your significant other might be that. Some business partner or whoever is significant might be that zodiac. Also, these periods of the year might be significant for you, like Gemini season might be about making big choices. Cancer season is about taking trips, going home, traveling somewhere to gain inspiration, learning more about you, and the Scorpio season being about the biggest point of transformation. So these are some pivotal times to take note. But yes, you are going away to gain some more perspective, and you are likely going to be quite inspired for the next stages. You are deepening your self-understanding as well through other people, but also by yourself as you reflect and learn more about yourself through this year. Death card is super deep and it's kind of psychological too. So you're not just understanding your habits and tendencies, but you're also seeing why you are the way you are. Where are you coming from in certain aspects? For example, if we go with the stubbornness example, why is it that something is much more meaningful to you compared to other people perhaps? Like, why are you so set on something working out? That does not mean that you should change it, like I said, right? It's not necessarily that. If you want to, you can. If it's not helping you, of course you can let it go. But it's just, it helps to know why you are the way you are, because many things we just are, we're just used to it. It just we are taught that. There is social conditioning, multiple factors, right? But when you know why, then you become clear, and it's easier to balance yourself when you are reacting a certain way in some situations, right? You have more of a handle, more conscious understanding of yourself, and the ego kind of takes a back seat because, again, you can catch it. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Scorpio also represents other people's resources and investments. So with the finances that are coming in, you might be investing for the future. You're not wasting it in any way. You're also spending things on what you consider valuable and a priority to you. So if traveling is a priority, that is something you're going to do. If partnership is your priority, that's where you're going to spend your time and resources. When I say money, it is, physical money, yes, that can be the case. But also it represents everything else that is of value. So time, energy, emotions, as well as finances, right? So different situations will have a different kind of currency. Like relationships, it's not really a transaction of money, but it's more of time and emotion, right? I feel like you'll also be quite observant this year, and you are able to identify more patterns than you have been able to in the past years, in yours and also other people. So if there is some type of toxic behavior, you can catch it a mile away, right? You can catch it really fast, and it does not like shock you or surprise you. You're just like, yep, this is what I thought. So your intuition and your heart are kind of on point. I call that Scorpios kind of have a BS radar. So with the death card, that's kind of coming to mind here. All right, let's see some oracle cards as well. For pile number 4, 2025. You have manifesting and doing. That's really cool because I didn't mention it, but nice that it came through, right? The Lovers is the combination of your doing part of yourself, the action taking, and the other part is more flowy, having faith, surrender. So passive and active all combined in one, knowing when to do what, and kind of working with both of those energies in tandem that make any manifestation come to reality, right? You have imagination, you have creativity, you can go with the flow and make it happen, but you're also taking action. You have willpower, you have a sense of focus and determination. So manifesting and doing is combining those two aspects of us. It seems like you are becoming more successful at attracting things that you have been wanting, and you know how you're going about it. You can see that the eyes are closed here and the third eye is kind of lit up. I don't know if it is coming through very clearly. Yes, so the eyes are closed and then there's the third eye, which is meaning that you don't have to see with your physical eyes just yet. You just have faith. You have surrendered yourself to the process and you're allowing things to unfold, which is why I think your observation skills are also heightening, because you're just pausing and you're looking, like really looking at things, not seeing what you want to see, but just seeing what is. We have also, what does your soul say? This is like the most spiritual card in this entire deck. So this only comes up when there is some type of spiritual reflection or insights, personal epiphanies coming through, when your higher self is kind of talking to you, giving you some spiritual insights, or this is when it's a time of transition, like the death card can also point out to, and we need to do some soul searching, right? So what does your soul say is asking you to dip deeper and find the answers for yourself. It's not about looking outside of you to look for validation and solutions to things, because you have that guidance, you have that answer. So this year is kind of heightening your ability to listen to yourself and to respond and validate yourself rather than look for it from the outside. You might be going to more spiritual places in the world, wherever you're traveling. So I don't know if you're specifically inclined to go for spiritual retreats or not, but it just, wherever you go, it might have a spiritual significance on you, right? Like even visiting historical sites, going to certain museums. You're not going with the intention of, okay, I'm going to achieve my enlightenment there or something, but you going there and just going through the motions can lead you to have a certain thought process, right? Gets you thinking, gets you going. What else can we know for pile number 4, please? We have Venus, Leo, and the 8th house. This is self-love and also love in a partnership. You have shared priorities, and I think you are quite similar, okay? Like what makes you tick and all that. You're quite similar with this person you're meeting here. If you're not yet with this person, it's likely that you are meeting someone in the next year and you are going to have a passionate connection. It will be like really hard to hide your magnetism, even if you're like trying to keep your relationship a bit secret until it is more established. I don't think you're going to be very successful. Not that someone's going to tattletale or something, but it's just quite obvious. The chemistry is just there and it's pretty loud and clear. It would be quite difficult to not notice, right? So that seems to be someone you're attracting here. And when it comes to getting finances from other people, for example, if you have clients, your resources, your consulting, if you're doing any sort of therapy work, healing, if you're in the spiritual fields, or even doing creative projects for others, you're going to be getting a rise in your finances, and that'll help you have more faith in what you are doing. It gives you more validation. Also, it makes you feel more autonomous for the times ahead. Let's say you are a creative person who is thinking, okay, I'm going to work here, gain some experience, but eventually I would like to have my own firm. And while you're still working here, you don't know yet if you can do it or not. You might have some doubts of, I don't know if I can manage this. Perhaps there's a lot of documentation to do. I don't even know if I will get that many clients. I don't know if I'm that good to begin with to be my own person. But given that you're getting some more validation here, it gives you a lot more faith to get over certain fears and insecurities, to transform those things and just be more resolute in what you are trying to achieve in your life, right? So yes, 8,000 points to transformation. That's where Scorpio sits. That's where the death card is. So I think Scorpio season, Leo season can also be something that sticks out to you, kind of awakens at these aspects of yourself, the more ambitious parts of you. Yes, the fire energy seems to be something that is being activated in you twice, actually thrice. This card, the Ten of Wands, and also the Leo energy. So there is more leadership coming up here. You might be taking more, again, you're in charge of your life. I mean, we all are, but you might be feeling more that way. Perhaps you can choose what you want to do. I don't know how it might play out. It depends on your industry, of course. But you are definitely being more appreciated. Even times when you're just trying to be low-key and you don't want really to draw so much attention, you're just inevitably drawing attention, right? You're just very visible. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah. And when you're like that, there might be some people who are a little bit jealous of it, but they might like act as though they're not jealous. But again, because you're so observant, you're like, yeah, I know you say you're happy for me, but I can see that you want this for yourself. So kind of watch out for those acquaintances. They will not cause you any damage. Okay, so when I say watch out, I just mean don't overly trust everyone. But it doesn't mean that they're going to do some voodoo type stuff or something. None of that's happening. You're quite protected, and you also know that intuitively that this person is trustworthy and this person is not. And kind of seems like you're just minding your own business. You're not trying to make someone jealous or something. It's just happening to you, you know? Yeah. And also, when I say watch out, it's also kind of avoiding some drama people, for just your own sake of peace, right? Again, they're not going to be harmful to you. It's just kind of a disturbance if they're around, and you know, it's none of your business, but you get roped in it, that type of thing. So yeah, but those are some like just minor tips. It's just kind of a consequence of being visible, right? All right, so that's what I have for you. I really hope you enjoyed it, that it was insightful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe as well. I will see you guys some other time. Take care. Bye-bye.